Welcome to the extraordinary world of Nate Diaz, where every fight is a saga and every victory a triumph of the human spirit. From the rugged streets of Stockton to the dazzling lights of the UFC stage, Diaz's journey is a tale of resilience, passion, and unyielding determination. But what makes this fighter truly special? What drives him to defy the odds and conquer the fiercest opponents? Join us as we unravel the mysteries behind Diaz's meteoric rise and delve into the heart of one of MMA's most captivating figures. Get ready for an adventure like no other, where the only certainty is excitement. Subscribe and hit the like button before we dive into the video to stay updated on all things Nate Diaz and never miss out on the thrilling journey of this remarkable fighter. The pride of Stockton emerges. Nate Diaz's journey began in the tough streets of Stockton, California. He was raised in a family deeply entrenched in the world of fighting. Growing up alongside his brother Nate Diaz, who himself would become a renowned MMA fighter, Nate was exposed to the intricacies of combat sports from a young age. Their upbringing instilled in them a strong work ethic and a passion for martial arts. It was in this environment that Nate honed his skills in Brazilian jiu-jitsu and boxing, laying the groundwork for his future success in the world of mixed martial arts. The iconic double bird submission. One of the most memorable moments in Nate Diaz's career occurred during his bout with Kurt Pellegrino. Known for his flamboyant personality and formidable skills, Pellegrino was a respected lightweight fighter in the UFC. However, when he faced off against Diaz, he was met with a display of confidence and defiance that would go down in MMA history. In a pivotal moment of the fight, chokehold. This iconic moment showcased Diaz's unique blend of skill, swagger, and showmanship, endearing him to fans and solidifying his status as a true maverick in the world of MMA. The UFC 241 smoke show, leading up to his highly anticipated bout with Anthony Pettis at UFC 241. Nate Diaz once again found himself making headlines, but this time for a different reason altogether. In a move that would become synonymous with his rebellious persona, Diaz shocked the MMA world by lighting up a joint during the open workouts. While such behavior may have been frowned upon by some, Diaz remained unapologetic, asserting his right to express himself freely. This bold act not only garnered attention but also served as a statement of Diaz's authenticity and unwillingness to conform to societal norms. It was a moment that transcended mere spectacle, highlighting Diaz's defiance in the face of convention and solidifying his status as a cultural icon within the sport. The birth of the BMF title. UFC 244, Diaz and Masvidal engaged in a war of words that captured the imagination of fight fans worldwide. On the buzz surrounding the fight, UFC President Dana White decided to officially recognize the winner with the inaugural BMF title. The decision was met with widespread acclaim, further fueling the anticipation for what would prove to be an epic showdown between two of the sport's most beloved fighters. And when the dust finally settled at Madison Square Garden, it was Diaz's grit and determination that shone through, earning him the title of baddest mother in the game and cementing his status as a true legend of the sport. Clash with Cowboy Cerrone. When Nate Diaz squared off against Donald Cowboy Cerrone, fans knew they were in for a treat. Tensions ran high as Diaz and Cerrone engaged in a war of words, each vying to gain the psychological edge over the other. But when the case from start to finish. Despite Cerrone's reputation as one of the toughest fighters in the division, he was unable to withstand Diaz's relentless onslaught. Diaz's status as one of the sport's premier talents. The last-minute magic trick against Edwards. In the world of MMA, the submission against McGregor. One of the defining moments of Nate Diaz's career came in his highly anticipated rematch with Conor McGregor at UFC 196. After suffering a defeat in their initial encounter, Diaz was determined to even the score and prove his worth against the brash Irishman. In a back-and-forth battle that had fans on the edge of their seats, Diaz's status as a top contender in the lightweight division, but also served as a testament to his never-say-die attitude and unshakable belief in himself, proving no mountains too high. When Nate Diaz stepped into the octagon for his rematch with Gray Maynard, he knew he was in for a tough fight. Maynard, a former collegiate wrestler with devastating knockout power, presented a formidable challenge for Diaz. But rather than shy away from the confrontation, Diaz embraced it, showcasing his trademark grit and determination from the opening bell. Despite facing adversity early on, Diaz remained composed and focused, weathering Maynard's attacks before seizing control of the fight and ultimately securing a decisive victory. It was a performance that showcased Diaz's evolution as a fighter and solidified his status as one of the most dangerous competitors in the lightweight division. Scaling and conquering Markham. In a matchup against Rory Markham, Nate Diaz faced off against a larger and more physically imposing opponent. But rather than be intimidated by his opponent's size size and strength, Diaz embraced the challenge head-on, utilizing his superior skills and technique to overcome the odds and emerge victorious. From the opening bell, Diaz dictated the pace of the fight, using his superior striking and grappling ability to control the action and wear down his opponent. Despite Markham's best efforts to mount a comeback, Diaz remained relentless in his pursuit of victory, ultimately securing a dominant win and further solidifying his reputation as one of the top contenders in the welterweight division. Pulling off a last-minute magic trick. In a thrilling showdown with Jim Miller, Nate Diaz once again found himself facing adversity. For the majority of the fight, Diaz found himself on the wrong end of Miller's strikes, struggling to find his rhythm against the relentless assault of his opponent. But just when it seemed like all hope was lost, Diaz dug deep and unleashed a flurry of punches in the final moments of the bout, rocking Miller and nearly securing a miraculous comeback victory. While Diaz ultimately fell short on the judges' scorecards, his never-say-die attitude and never-give-up spirit endeared him to fans once again, proving that he is truly a force to be reckoned with in the world of MMA. Nate Diaz's journey in the UFC shows how tough he is and how much he believes in himself. Starting from his hometown of Stockton, he's fought some really tough battles in the UFC ring. People everywhere love him for his fearless fighting style and never backing down. Whether he's locking in a hold or throwing punches with the best, Diaz has always proved he's a top fighter. And even as he faces tough times and keeps fighting against all odds, one thing is clear: Nate Diaz's story is far from over. His legacy will keep inspiring fighters for a long time to come. What new heights will he reach, and whose spirits will he lift next? The legend of Nate Diaz is still being written, and it's sure to inspire many more fighters in the future.